Welcome back to the Kino Cave, everybody, and today I have a short, quick, controversial little video to bring to you people. I thought that today, since engagement's been something, let's go through some of my film hot takes. Now, these aren't all my hot takes. I've brought two positive ones and two negative ones for you guys. These are just four random examples. There's a lot more of film opinions and things like that I have, and I'm sure I will make another one of these videos somewhere down the line. I'll probably make videos about entire franchises that I have hot takes about, but I just wanted to bring four random examples to you guys just of some film controversial opinions that I personally have. I've beefed with people over in my own day-to-day life, so all in jest, of course. Before I get into this, because I know what some of you out there are like, this is my opinion. I'm aware that I am in the minority of opinions about these. I know that I'm in the minority when it comes to the upcoming hot takes. That's why they're called hot takes or controversial opinions. So before you go screaming in the comments about how I don't know anything and that I'm an idiot or that I just don't get it, I know I don't get it. I wish I did. I just don't see what other people see in these upcoming things when it comes to either positivity or negativity. Without further ado, let's get into my first negative hot take. So my first negative hot take is that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, directed by Edgar Wright, is not that good. It is fine at best. I watched it once years ago and I thought, this is an odd movie that people call some of the, one of the greatest movies of the 21st century or one of Edgar Wright's best movies and that kind of thing. I could go on a whole rant and rave about Edgar Wright specifically because I think that he has had some ups and downs as a filmmaker. I think the Cornetto trilogy is pretty awesome, if a little oversaturated now with the amount of people saying that Hot Fuzz is their favorite film ever. This is a true story. In one of my first days of film school, we went around the room as a little bit of an icebreaker and named our favorite films or filmmakers. And I swear to God, at least 40% of the room said that Edgar Wright was their favorite filmmaker. We're talking a bunch of 18 to 20-year-old kids who are literally just about to have their eyes open to a world of cinema, but that's kind of whack. I even found that strange at the time. I'm like, he's a pretty, do we not have anything more interesting than that? And look, I will hold my hands up. I did say that Christopher Nolan was my favorite, which is way more samey than that. Anyway, what do I not like about Scott Pilgrim? Let me defend myself here a little bit. Scott is not a likable character in the slightest and does not have a redemption. Now, I know what you're all going to say, but yeah, we know that. That's part of the fun. We know that Scott's not supposed to be a good person. If you're going to make your character a dumb piece of shit, you have to do one of two things. Give him a really good redemption, or make him cannon fodder. This does none of these. His redemption sort of comes in at the very end when he just turns on a whim and does kind of the right thing, but not really, when he saves a person. I think it's Knives. It's been a couple of years since I've seen this movie. So his redemption, I guess, comes there, but it's not earned. It's not any of that. Scott has a brief moment of feeling like he should do the right thing and then does it easily. There's no work towards it. And that's one of the other things about Scott Pilgrim that I hate. He doesn't work towards anything. He defeats all the evil X's incredibly easily. I know that the thing that everybody says about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I swear to God, this is what every single person who loves this movie talks about, is the music and the visuals. And yes, those are both fantastic. I cannot argue with you on that. It is a brilliant piece of just kinetic visuals. It's a comic book come to life or manga come to life. I can't remember what the original Scott Pilgrim comic is defined as, if it's comic books or manga, but I cannot deny any of that. And the music is great, and I thought some of it was funny, I guess. I more just like the people in it and think that they're funny. I like Kieran Culkin, I like Anna Kendrick, I like who's the main guy? Michael Cera. I like all of those people. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Brandon Routh. Come on. Brilliant, okay? Chris Evans, pre-Captain America fame. Great. I like all that. But I just could not bring myself to give a shit about the story. So that is my problem with Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and it is my problem because a lot of people love this movie, and I just cannot bring myself to watch it again because I'll just get annoyed at Scott. I feel like I've been a bit. I went on the Scott Pilgrim hate train a little bit too much. Let's get into one of my more positive takes on a film. A little bit of a bone out there for you horror coded people. I feel like I haven't done enough horror since Halloween, so let's bring it back. A controversial opinion about horror that I have is that David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy, so it's the most recent 3 Halloween movies from 2018, 2021, I believe, and 2022. I like it. A lot of people hate on it. Like, a lot of people really hate on it. People have called, like, Halloween Kills the worst one in the franchise. How can you say that when Halloween Resurrection exists? I don't really know. But I really like David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy. It is not perfect by any means. I will not, like, die on the hill that the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy is, like, better than, say, John Carpenter's Halloween, because it isn't. It really, really isn't. I might die on the hill that Halloween Kills is one of the best Halloween movies, which I guess I'll briefly get to here. Honestly, that's the one I debated whether I'd talk about the whole trilogy or just Halloween Kills, because I am genuinely baffled at people who hate Halloween Kills. It's so much fun. Like, it's a really, really just fun movie. I watch it every single year coming up to Halloween. It is such a fun movie to just sit back and just sink your teeth into. And yeah, it's a bit heavy-handed with the whole mob mentality commentary. And yeah, it's a little bit messy. This whole trilogy is a bit messy. I'm not saying that Halloween Ends is a great movie. I think it's a decent cap-off, and if it wasn't a movie that existed within the Halloween timeline, I think it would have been a pretty fun slasher movie. Because I like Corey Cunningham. I think he's a fun character. He just takes too much of the spotlight away from Michael, which I understand. As for Halloween 2018, I loved it when I saw it at the cinemas in 2018. It was like one of the first horror movies I saw in the cinema. I was way too young. I wasn't way too young. I was like 2 years too young to go in. So like my dad got me and my friend in to see it, and I'm sure he hated the whole experience because he's not a horror guy. But I'm still very grateful for that experience because I watched every single David Gordon Green Halloween movie opening weekend in the cinema, and each with the same friend. And I'll always cherish those memories. It was great. I really loved it. So as for Halloween 2018, there are some dumb stuff that I don't like, but the kills are fun. Michael's mask has never looked better, honestly. Jamie Lee Curtis brings it, as well as Judy Greer and the girl who plays Allison, who has completely slipped my mind because I've been getting too animated about this. I guess this is what hot takes are about, right? I need to prove to you why I feel this way. I also love the guy who plays Allison's dickhead boyfriend, who gets a redemption in Halloween Kills. Brilliant stuff. I love it so much. As for Halloween Kills, this is the hill that I'm going to die on, because yes, there's some silly stuff in Halloween 2018, and I often don't feel like going back to it, really. Sometimes it's hard to like get through it if I'm really not in the mood to watch it, and I rarely go back to Halloween Ends, but I still have fun with it. Halloween Kills is the one I watch every single year, and it's the one that I really, really like, because it's got an insane amount of Michael kills that are super fun and, like, different and cool. Like, when he just fucks up an entire, like, platoon of, what are the men called? Firemen. Why can't I remember how to say words in this video? When he kills so many of those firemen, so much fun, right? And then when he kills, like, different people throughout the film, like, so many, the one with the light bulb. You know what? I'm going to stop because I can't put pictures in of any of these because YouTube doesn't like that kind of extreme stuff. But I'll just say all the kills around the board are great. Big John, Little John. How can you not love Big John and Little John? They are some of the most fun characters in the entirety of the Halloween franchise. That is a hill I will die on. Justice for Big John, Little John. The most fun, some of the most fun. They're not. I won't commit to them being the best or most fun characters in Halloween. I love their sequence in Halloween Kills. It is so much fun. The redemption of Allison's boyfriend, as I say, but I love as well how for a lot of it he's still wearing his Halloween costume when he went as Bonnie of Bonnie and Clyde. So he's just running around in a dress and a jumper, like just absolutely wrecking house. And of course we have all our returning characters, most of them being played by the same actors. We've got Lanny, get your ass away from there. We've got the flashbacks that look like they were filmed in 1978. So brilliant. We got the return of Tommy, of course. I think his name is Tommy. Why can't I remember this franchise that I love? And of course, we have Lindsay with the same actor returning to play Lindsay. Just brilliant. I don't care. This movie's fun as hell. And if you're not on board, then I guess you're not. And I genuinely could not understand the hate for it at all. So yes, David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy. Give it a break. Now to bring things down a bit. Now to set the mood down. I've been getting too excited about movies that I like. Wonka, the Timothée Chalamet Wonka movie, not only is it bad, but it's kind of insulting. Now, did this film personally offend me? A little bit, okay? I didn't want to see it, for one thing. I was out with friends. I wanted to see Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom because I thought that would be so fucking funny to see in the cinema. I did not, and then I watched it at home like months later, and I went, "This is the movie we should have seen." Because all of us hated Wonka, by the way. No, none of the people. Where there was 4 of us here, nobody liked it. Now, one of my big issues with Wonka is that it kind of goes against Gene Wilder's whole philosophy around the character, and this is Gene Wilder's version of Willy Wonka, played by Timothée Chalamet, because they make it real fucking obvious that it is. So Gene Wilder's whole philosophy around Willy Wonka. There's a famous story, you might have heard it, but Willy Wonka wanted to do the front flip, or like the forward roll, at the beginning of Charlie or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You know, when he comes out and he pretends to be a cripple with a cane, and then he does a forward roll, and it's like, oh, he's actually like super fit and all that. He committed to the movie because he wanted to do things like that, so that from the first minute of the movie, you did not trust Willy Wonka. He could be evil, he could be just a, childlike wonder of a character. You cannot trust him. And that plays throughout the film. You know, the characters get attacked with soap. They go on a terrifying boat ride. He screams at a little boy at the end. Like, he screams at a little boy and then 10 minutes later gives him a big hug. Like, if I was that little boy, I'd be scared of him for the rest of my goddamn life. The point is, Gene Wilder did not want the audience to be able to trust Willy Wonka. Well, now we're full of trust for him, aren't we? We know exactly who this character is, because the origin movie shows how he has this whole background with his mother, and they just loved chocolate so much, and this specific kind of chocolate. And Sally Hawkins did this movie and then didn't do Paddington 3. There's this whole, weep for Willy Wonka shit. I don't like it. It's not funny either. The movie isn't funny. There's so much CGI. Like, bad CGI as well. Bad CGI candy, bad CGI dance sequences and green screen and crap like that. Again, look at the Willy Wonka movie from the 70s with Gene Wilder, and look at what it's attempting to be a prequel of. Also, just the obvious manipulation, specifically at the end, when he sings the song. You know, the Imagination song. I can't quite remember the full name of it, but you know the song. The Willy Wonka song. He sings it at the end so that we know that this is going to become Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, and he's going to give Charlie the chocolate factory and all that kind of crap. I don't like it. I don't like this movie one bit. I could not bring myself to watch it ever again, I think. It made me, like, actually kind of upset. And I know that, you're not supposed to say, like, that a movie made you upset, because apparently you're not allowed to have any emotional reaction to seeing a film anymore because it's just movies, right? Well, this movie bummed me out. I was sitting there in the cinema, and then Timothy fucking Chalafuck starts playing the song from the 70s one, and I'm like, I was just sitting there like, oh god, he's not gonna actually do it, is he? And then he did it, and then I just left the cinema being like, Jesus, the movie, I just can't watch it. It's bad. It's a bad movie. Loads of people were praising it coming out of it, and I was like, what am I missing here? It's not fun, it's not funny, the music's fine, it's okay. The music is okay. But otherwise, it's just a soulless, manipulative, horrible cash grab movie that lures you in by, not paying respect. This movie doesn't respect Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka. It's a piss poor attempt at manipulating you into the nostalgia that you have for this movie that you watched when you were a child. Like, that's all it is. It's not good at all. There's no heart in this. There's no subversion. There's nothing interesting in this like there was with the movie that, again, this is trying to be a prequel of. I wouldn't be half as mad, and I wouldn't be half as, like, disappointed or, you know, annoyed by this movie if it didn't very clearly try to be a prequel to the incredible Willy Wonka movie that I watched all the time as a kid. I loved this movie. I loved this story. So I guess that's also part of why this movie just bums me out whenever I think about it or talk about it or see it on the television. And again, see people being like, yeah, it was fun, it was good, it was whatever, it was kind of funny and the music is good and all that. I'm like, but it completely betrays the movie that came before it. So yeah, I'm gonna stop now. I've gone on way too long about this, and I think I need to. I structured this very specifically so I can end on a movie that I like. So I'm done with Wonka. Let's talk about Daredevil. I'm trying not to do as many superhero videos this year because I think I've done a lot of them, and with the MCU retrospective videos, I'm really deep into comic book shit at the moment. So I'm trying not to talk about it as much in videos outside of the retrospective. But I guess it just keeps coming for me. Daredevil keeps coming for me. It's on the television right now. On the television. Like an Irishman from, 40 years ago saying that Daredevil is going at the moment. So why don't we talk about the very underrated Daredevil 2003. People really rag on Daredevil 2003. I don't think I need to tell you for why. People don't like Ben Affleck. They find the kind of punky neon early 2000s edge to be like really cringeworthy now. They don't like the suit because it looks kind of like an X-Man suit, I guess. A lot of people have a lot of problems with this movie. I kind of like it and maybe even love it. Daredevil is one of my favorite superheroes, and Matt Murdock is one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. I relate to him intensely. One day I'll go on a proper tirade about Daredevil and how much I love Daredevil. But for right now, let me just say, Daredevil is important to me. And I remember loving this movie as a kid, and then going through that age when you're a teenager and everything fucking sucks. The Star Wars prequels suck, Daredevil 2003 sucks, Hulk sucks, the X-Men movies suck, everything is terrible except for the Marvel movies that are coming out right now. But now, people have come around. This is one of those movies that a lot of people have come around on, I think, especially in the comic book movie space. So I don't think this is an insanely hot take, but I think a lot of people are still like, revisionist history, blah. Whereas I genuinely think that it's warranted here. I think that Daredevil 2003 is a lot of fun. It pays homage to a lot of comic books. It's a little messy. It does a little bit too much. It could have done a bit better. We could have slapped a costume on that Colin Farrell and make him do proper Bullseye. But he's kind of got the manic energy that Bullseye kind of has. Like, he's just this weird freak who loves stabbing people with projectile weapons. And we're seeing that now with Wilson Bethel's Bullseye as well. And he does it way better, don't get me wrong. But I kind of like how weird and kooky and Irish Colin Farrell is in this movie. Just for no reason. It's so fun. Me and my girlfriend will often turn to each other when we want snacks or something and go, "More peanuts, please." Just Colin Farrell being his most insane self in this movie, and clearly he's enjoying it. But I love how much this movie loves the comic books. Despite the omission of Stick, I really enjoy how it kind of runs through Man Without Fear. It does a little bit of Born Again, it does a lot of Guardian Devil as well, and, we do obviously a lot of the Frank Miller run, which, I mean, why not? It's the best of Daredevil is Frank Miller, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, I think this movie is a lot of fun, and the 2000s punky edge to it with the Evanescence and all that. I think it's great. I think it's so much fun. It's so silly, but in a way that feels intentional. I don't think it's actually trying to be like cool or dark or like, serious. I think it's trying to be really like punky and poppy, but in that early 2000s way where it was like extremely edgy. And it was just so much fun. I love rewatching this movie. It's just energy from fucking minute one to all the way to the end. I love it. I love Daredevil 2003. I love Daredevil in general, which of course helps. And yeah, this movie's great. I don't care. Say what you want in the comments. So those are just 4 of my Hot takes. I'm losing my voice because of how animated and shouty I've been in this video. I hope you all had fun with this, guys. Tell me in the comments, do you have any hot takes? Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, tell me. I want other people to I want to be vindicated. And I hope any of you felt vindicated by my opinions here. You're not alone if you think Scott Pilgrim sucks, okay? And of course, if you disagree with me, sound off in the comments as well. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm stupid. Maybe present a compelling argument as to why you don't agree with me, instead of just telling me that I'm a fucking idiot. Either way, sound off in the comments. I get engagement either way. Like this video if you liked it, guys. Even if you didn't like it, if you got really animated, well, I've given you some energy for the day, haven't I? I've given you something to think about, some food for thought, so that's worth leaving a like down there as well. Subscribe to the channel for more, guys. The next Kino Spective is coming in 2 weeks on Captain America. You are not ready for it. And neither am I, because I actually haven't started it yet. I've only watched the movie so far. I've only got the review done first. I hope you all have a great day, everybody. I'll see you in the movies.